So right now I'm in the middle of taking apart the Ez8 high grade and putting it on clips to prepare for painting, masking and painting and all that stuff. But at this moment I'm kind of like in the middle of also sanding down some of the parts that need to be sanded down, especially this one because it didn't look right. But anyway, let's do this. All right. Now, for the leg, I actually, and I don't know if you could see this here, I did a seam line there. What I did was I took masking tape, not masking tape. So you have products out there that can use for masking, but I have other tape from other products that I've had for a while that I could use. Like this is actually reversible tape for window, for like if you want to cover up the window with a plastic, so that way for the winter. It's reversible, but the tape itself is very, very strong. So I'm going to use it as a guide. I'm going to put that right there, as you could see. Alright, then using my tungsten tool, I'm going to bring it down like this, slowly, 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 like that. Then I'm going to remove it to show off the work. Oh, so be careful, of course. Find the edge and then bring it towards you like that. There we go. Then I'm going to use the sanding paper to sand it down. And sand it down. Now there's a notch here which I'm going to sand that down, but first I was going to glue sand it down, but I'm going to do the same thing because I did the same thing on this one here in the back. As you could see, it does show here that I did that. So I can't do this because it doesn't look right. The bottom part I don't care because I can wrap it around. It's just this part is a little weird, and I'm going to try to remove the seam line from there. Let me just continue removing these parts because I got a lot of parts to clean up, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Now, in the midst of me cleaning up all these parts and sanding it down, I kind of made a goof with the shoulders. Trying to remove that seam line was very difficult for me here because it's off center here and there. But what was worse is that I went a little too far, and now this is now in an angle and it's not evened out. This is pretty much pisses me off when I see something like this. So I kind of said to myself, what should I do? Styrene sheets may be a good idea. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Another idea would be take the saw and cut this out, and as much as I could see that it's thin enough for it to get to that area, I have a distinct feeling we're going to damage this part. We're going to probably damage this part more than we are this one, because if we mess up the bottom, I don't mind, because then at least I can sand it down and even it out and then put something over it. But I'm kind of not confident for that yet. So what do we do? Well, I think we can in turn disguise it. Yes, put like maybe a siren sheet like right over it, something like this, but this is too simple. Why not give it something a little bit more definition? And I had one in, you have to forgive me, I had it in plain sight here, and I was prepared to show it off, and in the midst of finding parts, I must have put it to the side and put it inside the cabinets. And I got some evergreen, but this part is way too thick for that. Oh, here it is. I found it someplace. So I have these wave parts. These are 3mm, and kind of like a curvature, like a not a curvature, like an angle. I could probably put that there if I have to. May not be a good idea because this little part here can be removed. I can sand it down. But even if it's there, it's not going to be conformed to this part here. So another idea bites dust. So we can hide it with some other parts. Mainly some MSG parts, like these vents. I have so many vents here. I have square vents, I have rectangle vents, I have these roundy vents, I have extra vents here. Let me see this. Yeah, that's actually the perfect size for that. Let's work with this here for now. Now, the worst part is I'm doing this for the shoulders. That means I gotta do it again for other parts because then it'll look a little weird and off. So first thing, let's sand it down a bit. Clean it up. That's 400, and this is 1,000 to smooth it out. Now, I was going to use Mr. Cement S, but I don't use this bottle because the brush is split like that, and it's a pain, and it annoys the hell out of me. I only use it for like larger paint, larger parts, or for something that's precision. I need something a little bit more thinner, but I'm going to use something thicker here. I'm going to use the Tamiya Cement. And where is my? Here we go. Just want to make sure I have this tool here ready. Good. So we're just going to put it on this. And put that there. A little squeeze. And a repositioning to make sure it falls into place. Okay, that's actually not bad. Let's do the other one just so we can get it out of the way. See, now I gotta fill in the blanks in other parts. Maybe in the legs, obviously the waist unit, the backpack maybe. The legs is definitely, you know, a given. And I don't know what to use that. That's why I kind of like another part of plastic that I don't have here in arm's length. Oh god, where'd I put it? It's someplace around here. It was these little wide panel box, you know, square and box parts that I used on previous kits a long time ago. I don't have it here now. And they're perfect for like armored parts. Oops, alright, let's put that there. Give me that. As a matter of fact, I think I got a few, or I got one pack of that. What I'm talking about, which I'm sorry, it escapes my mind what the name of it is. But it's from Bandai. It is one of those option parts. And I ordered it off of Hyperlink Japan, which is in my warehouse, among other little tidbits. So now I put this here. And this is okay, which now, what other parts do I have to work with? Well, let's go back to the leg. Which, even though I cleaned it up, I feel like I need to do more now since I did this. This part I don't have to worry about. I have these parts here that can go right there, but then it'll interfere with this seam line, so it has to be something like around here or there. No, actually this is the inside, so this will have to be here where the beam saber holder hilt is there. So that's I have to look into. There is another part here that I'm going to be working on cleaning up, and I'm going to show you something here. You see all these are these little rivets. And if I zoom in, I don't know if you guys can see it. There are these little rivets there that, unfortunately, using the small sanding stick to get around it, because there are these seam lines that are all over the place, and they were driving me nuts. And I was like, how the hell am I gonna? How do you sand this off? Really? I mean, I had some sanding products here that I was gonna use, including this new one that I got. This 400, 600, 1000 sanding sticks, Bandai Spirit official tools that I got at Millennium Hobbies to use it for this. But then to sand it down and then I may accidentally miss it or whatever, it was gonna drive me nuts. Then I forgot that I did purchase these rivet type parts by by Wave. Sorry, not Kotobukiya, Wave. They're huge, almost a millimeter in length and height, but I could probably take a knife or the saw, cut them down, and put them there. I'm gonna try that. But then again, let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's 6 and 12. And unfortunately, I don't think they all. No, I don't have 12 of the same. Unfortunately, can't use this. So I'm gonna have to clean it up as best as I could. I was gonna sand it down, wipe it out completely, and then use those custom, but I guess not. Alright. Alright, so I'm in the middle of airbrushing all the parts. Right now I'm priming. Getting some parts done and out of the way. I've increased the pressure on my compressor, so I can apply the primer on this. It's good to have high pressure, a little high pressure on the compressor when you apply primer, especially from an airbrush. That way you have a good coverage. You don't have to linger there trying to get this on. That's good. I thought I took video of me doing this, but I didn't finish, and there were some parts that I did customize and detailed up a little bit more. So for this, which is the backpack thing, I put like thrusters here and some plating there, so that was done. And for this, I put these two little parts here and here. These are also wave parts. They're like little line parts. Let me show you. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Pull that out and. Sorry, I thought I had the part in front of me. Probably in front of me now. Oh, there it is. So let me zoom in a bit. So I put more plating like this on the part to give it a more detailed look. When I started doing with one part, I ended up doing with more parts. So I said, all right, I might as well do the whole thing, or do enough to cover it up a bit. And I am seeing parts. I see some damage from the glue. So I'm going to have to get a piece of sanding stick and sand it down. Give me this. I'll put that there. So the leg part, I did this. I didn't do it in the front because I have the knee part. Ah, darn it. I forgot to do something here, but that's all right. Ran out of primer. Let me... What I was going to say that I was going to do was, while I was preparing this, I'm going to use my anti-static brush and do this to remove any particles. Always have this around to do that. I didn't know where it was the last time, and I was trying to put it on, look for it so I can use it on my Kemper Master Grade, and I was like, okay, I'll use a little bit of compressed air sprayed on, use a towelette to clean out whatever particles is there, and then hope for the best. But then I finally found it. I was like, oh great, maybe it was near the antenna of my Kemper, which I still haven't found yet. Here. Oh, yeah, I did the same thing for this part right there. And I forget again to do this. I'm kind of like being, I gotta do this. It is time consuming, yes. So you gotta be mindful of what to do and, be careful. There we go. So yeah, take the part, clean it up, make sure there's no dust particles there, then primer. I got a lot of parts here to work with, and it's going to take me some time because I got to do all these. Once I'm done with them, then we'll move on to the next stage, which would be, of course, painting. Shouldn't be that hard, considering we're going to be using acrylic paint.